If you're close to divine union with your twin flame, you'll feel this. Hello and welcome. I'm Dragon Fairy. If you're new here, this channel is a space for intuition, frequency, and deeper spiritual truth. And if you've been on the twin flame journey for a while, then you already know, this path finds you when you're ready. If you clicked on this video, chances are you're not here by accident. Something within you already knows that you're close to something big. Today, we're talking about what it really feels like right before divine union with your twin flame. Not the fantasy version, not the social media version, but the lived, embodied experience. Because right before union, everything changes. 1. You feel calm after chaos. One of the clearest signs you're close to divine union is a deep calm that follows a long period of emotional intensity. Earlier on this journey, the connection may have felt overwhelming, obsessive thoughts, emotional highs and lows, constant longing, confusion, and pain. But right before union, that chaos softens. You still feel them, deeply, but without the desperation. You stop chasing, you stop checking, you stop trying to control the outcome. Instead, you feel a quiet inner knowing. It's already aligning. This calm doesn't come from certainty. It comes from surrender. 2. You stop needing external validation. Another powerful shift happens when you no longer need confirmation from outside yourself. You trust your intuition more than signs, readings, or other people's opinions. You may even feel less drawn to fear-based content or messages telling you there's more work to do. You realize something important. You've already done the work, and that inner confidence changes your frequency completely. 3. The divine feminine feels whole. For the divine feminine, this phase is deeply empowering. She stops feeling incomplete. She stops measuring her worth by whether he chooses her. Old wounds around abandonment, rejection, and unworthiness begin to dissolve. Not because they're ignored, but because they've been healed. She chooses herself naturally. She may feel more embodied and sensual, more creative and expressive, stronger trust in her intuition, less emotional reactivity. She no longer waits to be chosen, and this is often the moment union becomes possible. 4. The divine masculine feels the pull intensify. The divine masculine experiences this stage more internally and often silently. On the outside, he may still appear distant or focused on his own life, but internally, something shifts. He feels her presence constantly. He may dream of her vividly, feel waves of emotion he can't explain, reflect deeply on past choices, feel called to change old patterns. His ego loosens its grip. The love no longer feels threatening. It feels inevitable. 5. Mirroring. Stops. Integration. Begins earlier on the journey. Everything felt triggering. Every interaction mirrored wounds and unresolved trauma. Right before union, that mirroring softens. Instead of triggering you, the connection integrates. You respond rather than react. You observe rather than spiral. There's less drama, less emotional volatility, more grounded presence. This is a huge sign of alignment. 6. You feel them energetically. As union approaches, the connection becomes more energetic than physical. You may feel sudden waves of love, pressure in the heart or chest, tingling in the third eye, emotional shifts that don't feel like yours. You may think of them right before they reach out, or notice repeating numbers, songs, or symbols connected to them. But here's the difference now. These signs don't destabilize you anymore. They simply confirm what you already know. 7. Time feels different. Many people report a strange distortion of time before union. Days blur together, weeks pass quickly, memories resurface vividly. You feel like something is unfolding behind the scenes, even if nothing is happening outwardly. That's because energetically, things are happening. The physical world just moves slower. 8. Fear has one last voice. Right before union, fear often rises one last time. Thoughts like, what if I'm wrong? What if this never happens? What if I imagined it all? This is the ego's final attempt to regain control. But if you're close to union, this fear doesn't linger. It passes quickly, replaced by peace. 9. You release the outcome. One of the strongest signs you're nearing union is true detachment from the outcome. You reach a place where you genuinely feel, I'm okay either way, not because you don't care, but because you trust the connection beyond form. You stop forcing reunion. You stop imagining how it should happen. You allow it to unfold naturally, and this surrender is powerful. Tip 1. Union feels inevitable, not urgent. Right before divine union, urgency disappears. You don't feel rushed. You don't feel desperate. You don't feel like time is running out. You feel grounded. Love feels stable, calm, real. This is the frequency that allows union to manifest. Not longing, not attachment, but wholeness. If you're feeling these things, you're not losing interest. You're not giving up. You're not disconnected. You're aligned. Divine union doesn't happen through force. It happens through frequency. And when both the divine feminine and divine masculine reach this inner state, the external reunion becomes a natural reflection. Trust where you are. Trust what you feel. What's meant for you cannot miss you.